Hello everyone, it's Christine here. Welcome back to our stitch along, and we are continuing with satin stitch, and we're going to be doing a satin stitch bow. So in readiness I have used my friction marker and drawn on two outlines of the bow ribbon. So I did one outline first, and then the book suggests you have a second outline that crosses over it as though the ribbon is twisting around. So let me just show you the way they show it in the book. So it's essentially one outline and then another outline that crosses over as though the bow is twisting, and at the end you kind of get that little cross marking where the ribbon is twisting around. So that's my version of it. I'm using my variegated thread, which is actually helping to show the two different loops. If you wanted to, I'm sure you could just do a standard looking sort of bow as well, but I'll give this one a go so you can see. So I'm going to come to the front over here, and you leave a little area in the middle, which is where we're going to be putting in two layers of stitching to create the sort of center bow part once we've done the other stitching. So it's going to be really the same technique that we were using in yesterday's episode, to just be creating parallel stitches next to each other on either side of the outline, the split stitch that's forming the outline. So split stitch was what we used yesterday in the last episode, and yeah, I've used that to create the outline. And then I'm just using the same thread that I was using yesterday because I quite like the colour of it on this vintage tartan. I guess it could be called a tartan, even though it's quite a understated tartan. This was from the big batch of fabrics that Betty and Silvano found under their house in a big chest. That's lovely fabric to stitch into. It's a lovely quality as well. Try and work as fast as I can so it doesn't take too long. If it is taking too long for a single episode, I'll just do one side and show you the center piece. We'll see how we go. In the book they're just using a single strand of silk thread, but I'm using my thicker thread because it just makes it a bit easier for you to see on the video, and also means it doesn't take quite as long, hopefully. But as with yesterday, a sort of a lustrous thread that's got a bit of sheen to it is recommended, but you don't have to use silk. This is just a regular cotton thread. A regular variegated cotton thread, but just from a big reel of crochet cotton or knitter's cotton, not sure which it was. So now that we're coming up to the cross, we just put in a little stitch, well, where the two bits cross over. So we just want a nice thin little stitch to kind of give the impression of the ribbon twisting. And then we're going to, probably easier to kind of twist your piece around as you go. So I'll just get another stitch in here. And then we can continue on this direction. Again, when you're going around the curve, you'll just want to keep it tight on the shorter side and slightly more spaced on the longer side. windy this evening outside. Filming this on Saturday evening. Another rocking Saturday in the craft room. Perfect place I want to be. My happy place. Oops, just can't get the needle to come up where I want it. Sometimes it takes a few goes. So yeah, you just want to be staying and sort of angling your stitches underneath those split stitches. And keeping them as sort of as neat as possible, but it's not about perfection. It's about stitching. Maybe if you're doing really perfect embroidery pieces, maybe it is about perfection, but most of us are happy slow stitches. And this is just about adding stitches and techniques to our repertoire. Thank you all who subscribe and all who leave really sweet, lovely comments. It means a huge amount to me, particularly when people say, "Oh, I've just come across your channel, and yeah, thank you so much for the instruction," or people saying, "I'm definitely going to do that particular stitch or that little flower that you did." It just warms my heart. It reminds me, not that I really need reminding, because I'm not going to stop doing this, because it's something that's a very good thing for me as well. But it just that encouragement, I think. I mean, I feel my slow stitch is really my compulsion. I can't imagine not doing it. Knots and all. Is that like warts and all, knots and all? Is that the sewer's version of it? I think I probably should have done one more little stitch at this little crossover point. And we'll continue along this side. So yeah, the variegated thread's definitely a lot of fun for this one, where you kind of get that sense of the ribbon twisting as well from the thread. Yeah, my version's obviously a bit more rustic than the one in the book, but still pretty happy with it. So we'll whip around the other side of the ribbon. Hopefully if you're stitching along, it gives you enough time to get yours done too. And for those of us watching the live premiere together, hopefully it is giving us lots of time for chatting. So now I'll start this one up on the top. I don't think it matters whether you go top to bottom, it's just that you're meant to then kind of consistently go that direction. It's probably whatever feels comfortable to you when you start. Trying to think how an actual bow would go and whether that bit of ribbon would cross up here. I don't know if it would go straight there. I'm trying to think how you tie a bow in my head as I stitch. Oops, got a little knot. It's just where it's crossing over itself, so it's quite easy to unknot. think you'll be watching this on Monday evening. So I hope you've had a lovely, well, Monday evening for us, but Monday morning for many of you. And I hope you've had a lovely weekend when you're watching this. And I will have also, I think, done my my draw for my little giveaway for the stitch along. So if you're seeing this video, it's probably been drawn, but don't worry, there'll be future opportunities as well. As I said, I'd do the draw on Sunday my time, and I'll share a video as well just to show that it's all kosher. And then I'll get my little packages ready. Probably need, I can just see a little bit of the paler colour showing through, so I probably just need to put one needle stitch in. I think I'll go this way because I just find that a bit easier to twist it this way. So again, just where you're going around a curve, just tighter on the tight bit of the curve and a bit more spaced out on the longer bit of the curve. Hope that makes sense. Which then allows you to get that curved effect and still have the stitches laying where you want them. Let's put just a little bit of a space there. So you can always add a stitch in if you make one that's a bit too wide, or if you're sort of if you are using a variegated colour like this, and if a lighter colour is shining through or a darker colour. Probably doesn't really matter though, because ribbon will have that little bit of reflectiveness as well. Okay. Just trying to keep that little crossover point nice and narrow to give the effect of the ribbon crossing over. Almost round, and then we'll do our padded sort of centre piece. We'll be doing some more padded satin stitch tomorrow as well. Now I've still got a bit of that underlying colour showing through, so I might just need to lay a little stitch over the top of that, just to hide that white, or that lighter pink anyway, not white per se. It's made it a smidge uneven, so I'm just going to put another little evening stitch in also, maybe one on this side. Oops, there's got a bit of fluff on the thread, not sure why I got so fluffy in that process, or whether it picked fluff up from somewhere, I'm not sure. Not sure what happened there. Now I'm going to put one more stitch in here as well, and then we'll continue on our way. I think that's fixed it up just where it was looking a bit. There was a bit of white shining, light pink shining through. Okay. So for the center, we are going to do some horizontal stitches for that little part that would be that little sort of circular-y, rectangular bit across the center that would be holding the ribbon in place. So I'll do some horizontal stitches to start, and then we're going to be doing some vertical stitches. So again, I'm just laying stitches parallel to each other in a horizontal, a crossways fashion. To bring the needle through where those satin stitches are, it's a little bit of a push. Okay, just put one. I know I've gone the wrong direction. I've gone from the wrong side, but that's okay. And then we'll do our stitches parallel vertical over the top of those ones, which will give us a nice little raised padded effect. I'm just coming from the top and bringing my stitches just under where I laid those horizontal stitches. So I think I could even go, I don't mind if I even give it a little bit more padding, so I might even just lay a few more stitches over the top, I think. And that's the great thing really with the satin stitch, you can overlay it. Just want to keep them nice and parallel. So there we go. There is my satin stitch bow, and you could obviously do it with some little hanging down ribbony bits, which I think I'm inclined I might do. I won't do them on video because this is already 17 minutes, so that's long enough. But yeah, if you wanted to do it, you'd just draw them on and stitch them down. And tomorrow we'll be coming back to do some other padded satin stitch. So I'll see you then. Thanks everyone.